It's very likely that you've stumbled across a top 10 list on YouTube that says top 10 franchises that need to die. And this video was originally going to be one of those, but then I realized, I don't want any of these franchises to die. But if they don't get the help they really need, they will die. So that's what I'm counting down today. Hi guys, DPX here. Welcome to top 10 franchises that need help. Now, I'm not hating on these franchises. If you're a fan of these franchises, that's fine. In fact, I'm kind of doing the opposite. I want these franchises to succeed, but where they are at right now, it isn't looking good. Anyways, before we get started, you know what to do. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to turn notifications, and leave a comment. You'll be a loyal subscriber.
I wanted to give to you, in the last part of your notes here, the significance spiritually of the number 10.
We start off the list with a series that I'm not too familiar with myself, that being Pokemon. Nothing really against it, just never really got into it despite knowing a lot of the names. Why do I have Pokemon on the list though? Well, it seems that lately, the Pokemon series has been rather controversial. Let's Go, Pikachu, and Eevee, when they were first revealed, were criticized for looking like a console version of Pokemon Go, and Sword and Shield started a lot of controversy for a lot of reasons. Not to mention the DLC, like paid DLC, caused even more. Pokemon sort of just seems like a series that isn't really going to change, and if you're expecting that, you're setting yourself up for disappointment, and that is sort of a problem. A year off would greatly benefit this series, and it seems that Game Freak are doing that, as unless you count the new DLC, there doesn't seem to be any new Pokemon game coming out this year. So maybe they're on the right track. This also isn't higher because, unlike the rest of these series, Pokemon's not really on its deathbed, but I feel like a few more bumps in the road and it will be. Now, I wouldn't say Mario is ever really about to die, as it's a huge series, but some stuff were getting rather stale, but luckily Super Mario Odyssey was fucking amazing, and saved Mario from ever getting to that point. Super Mario Party was supposed to do that for the Mario Party series, but didn't work as well. Now, I will give them this. They saw that Mario Party needed fixing, and tried with Super Mario Party. And a lot of the stupid, dumb bullshit from the later numbered games, like being in a fucking car, are gone. So, in that regard, this series doesn't need help at all. However, it sort of feels like the Mario Party series is kind of struggling to stick around. The game itself, when it comes to the content, is very bare bones. It seems Nintendo spent more time on the actual party side of the game, as in like not being in a car, which is good, but they didn't fill the game up with content, and the game still hasn't gotten the updates that were promised. Hopefully we can get a Super Mario Party 2 somewhere down the line that keeps the quality of the party side of things, but adds more content. Otherwise, not looking good.
So I'm going to be giving this flavor 8.5 out of 10 scoops.
I actually didn't realize that I have 3 Nintendo franchises in a row on this list, but it also happens to be the last one on this list at number 8. I would also like to state that Nintendo does really do a good job with their franchises, whether it be Mario, Zelda, Smash, Metroid, but there seems to be something about Star Fox that they just can't figure out. The original Star Fox as well as 64 are both great games, but Star Fox Adventures probably shouldn't have had the Star Fox name on it. Star Fox Assault was fine, and I constantly forget that Star Fox Command even exists. So, already hit or miss. But the hits are good hits. Star Fox Zero was supposed to be the game that put the series back on track, as it was also the first new Star Fox installment since Command, which came out a whole decade earlier. However, it was released with a multitude of issues, making it one of my personally most disappointed games I've ever played. The controls with the gamepad ruined the game for me, and also the story is just a remake of 64, which we already got a remake of. Honestly, I think this game would benefit from a Switch port, and have the controls overhauled, and if that happens, it can just be the help the series needs.
36.
Very close, but that's not it. Let's go to Gary the Retard. What number between 2 and 4?
We are back with another yearly franchise, and it's a sports game series. Kinda. It's the WWE 2K series. Now, unlike most of the series on this list, the WWE 2K series actually is kinda getting help at the moment, as there was no 2K21. Instead, there was 2K Battlegrounds, which is the wacky shit I like in a wrestling game. But the series still needs help, as I'm sure we will be getting WWE 2K22. There is the obvious broken nature of the games. 2K19 seemed relatively fine, but the others, especially 2K20, have many glitches. Still though, how was 2K20 given the green light to be released? It was not ready at all. But it's more than just that, as the games have been low on content for a very long time. The rosters get bigger and bigger, but there is less and less to do. It's good that 2K are letting this series take a year off, but 2K22 better show that they've learned something.
Okay, Mrs. Puff, what's my final score?
6.
Woo!
I'm sure you were expecting EA to have a franchise to make this list, but to give credit where credit is due, they have been fucking up a lot less as of late. Not to say that they are now a great company, fuck no. But look at Jedi Fallen Order. Hopefully something like that will happen to Mass Effect sometime soon. Mass Effect was held in such high regard, but seemed to almost go down with BioWare. The first two are widely acclaimed by many, and the same can absolutely be said for the third game up until, you know, the ending, and that was a huge no-no for many fans. But time passed by, and Mass Effect Andromeda was on the horizon, and this was supposed to be the game to rejuvenate the Mass Effect series and restore faith in the eyes of many fans. But then the game was rushed and came out as an unfinished, broken, glitchy mess. I remember going into 2017, the year this game came out, and this was everyone's most anticipated game, but it just flopped so hard. There are rumors of a Mass Effect remastered trilogy coming soon, as well as a possible brand new Mass Effect ignoring Andromeda, so there is some glimmer of hope, but if it's not true, yeah, I don't know, man.
Oh, chills. Literal chills.
It was number 5. Number 5 is my brother.
Oh my god, I forgot about
Now you guys know that I love Smash, but I also love all fighting games. Smash is just my favorite. One other thing I love is crossovers, which is one reason I love Smash so much. But another crossover fighting game is Marvel vs. Capcom, but it's unfortunate to say that it's kinda in the doghouse. The first game had a balanced but small roster, when the second game had a ginormous roster, but was unbalanced as shit. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 came out and had a big enough roster that was very well balanced. However, Capcom decided to reboot the series into Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Oof. Now, this is coming from someone who actually kinda likes this game, since when it comes to playing the game, it's actually really fun. But the facial animations are a joke, the story mode sucks, the roster is by far the worst so far. Seriously, why are there 2 more Marvel characters than Capcom characters? Something similar happened with Street Fighter V, where Capcom rushed it, but they didn't learn their lesson here. Luckily, Street Fighter V got better, but Marvel Infinite is beyond dead. Hopefully someday we can see a Marvel vs. Capcom 4 that brings the series back to its original roots, but if not, how unfortunate.
7, 5.
Number 4.
I'm still really shocked with Microsoft's acquisition of Bethesda. Microsoft buys a lot of studios, but not usually a big AAA publisher like Bethesda. This is good because this can possibly give Bethesda the help they need. And of any franchise of theirs that needs help, Fallout is gonna need it the most. The first 2 are often forgotten, but seem to be really good games. And the third one is also very good, and New Vegas is fucking amazing. Fallout 4 is where it starts to get a bit divisive. Not a terrible game by any means, but definitely very unfinished in many aspects. Still a very enjoyable game though, and not bad. Not bad at all. And then we got Fallout 76. What can I say about this game that hasn't already been said? It is a mess, and one of only few examples of a game, like a games as a service game, that got worse and worse as it went on. I've heard murmurs about a Fallout 5 coming, but honestly, I think a reboot is more necessary, or even the hinted Fallout New Vegas 2. In one fell swoop, Fallout 76 really damaged the Fallout franchise as well as a beloved company in Bethesda, and it needs serious help. But hey, they're in the hands of Microsoft, so maybe that help could be coming. Oh Sonic, no matter how much you try and even sometimes actually succeed, you are bound to end up on a list like this. Now what is it about Sonic that places the series this high on the list? Well, it kinda has been going on for as long as Sega has been out of the hardware business. Let's look at the Wii and that era. And I thought Sonic Colors and Generations were good, but Sonic 4 was pretty mediocre, and Sonic the Secret Rings as well as Sonic and the Black Knight were both really bad. And then we got Sonic 06, which was supposed to be a relaunch for Sonic into a new generation of consoles. But, oh boy, what do I even need to say? The franchise sorta just stumbled a bit, but the aforementioned Colors and Generations were good. But then came a rather mediocre installment in Lost World. But then it was time for another Sonic reboot with Sonic Boom. Oh god. We then got Sonic Mania, a love letter and nostalgia trip for all the classic Sonic games. And then we got Sonic Forces, which ranged from mediocre to bad. Now it doesn't seem like Sega knows what to do with Sonic, so I think they should focus more on 2D Sonic. Otherwise, yikes.
What kind of pencil do we take again?
Number 2. Take a number 2.
Looks like you took a big number 2.
We were all talking about the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, or S. I'll just be calling it this Xbox Series from here on out. And speaking of which, the Xbox Series isn't launching with any brand new exclusive titles. This wasn't the case before Halo Infinite was delayed, but yeah, that's what happened. When Halo first came out on the original Xbox, it was a big deal. When Halo 2 came out for the original Xbox, it was also a big deal. When Halo 3 came out for the Xbox 360, it was really good. It started to squander a little bit with Halo 4 and 5. Now we have Halo Infinite on its way, which, up until very recently, Microsoft were certain it would be a launch title for the Xbox Series. But then they showed a rather lame and unfinished looking demo over the summer that got a lot of backlash and delayed it. Not to mention, Infinite already had 2 directors leave the project. I know Halo is really only on this list, this high no less, because of a game that is looking to be a bit rough, but it seemed that Halo needed a brand new, well-made installment, but that's not even what we seem to be getting. Whatever Infinite turns out to be, let's hope it's an example of a good game emerging from development hell.
I'm Luigi, number 1.
Now you probably realize something. I haven't mentioned Metal Gear Solid at all. Now this series is dead, but in a different sense as the other franchises. As the series is complete, Konami just wants to beat it to the ground. But what about Silent Hill? Arguably the best survival horror franchise that Konami pissed all over and canceled a very promising looking title for? But wait, what about Castlevania? A series that, despite being included in Smash and getting an awesome collection, Konami has really done nothing with, aside from a discontinued shitty looking mobile game. But then there is also Contra, a series that they've also done nothing with except a half-assed installment last year that I forgot existed. You notice a pattern here? This is Konami, and I think they need help. Maybe not them as a company, as they're the ones doing this, but rather their series. Call this cheating, but had I not done this, half the list would have been Konami. I think the best way to save these franchises would honestly be to license them out to other developers and publishers. I get you run the risk of it just not being the same, but it's better than letting Konami shit all over it. And if they don't do that, well, pretty much Konami's entire catalog of games are dead in the water. Unless you count pachinko machines. Anyways, that was this list, the top 10 game franchises that need help. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, I wasn't trying to take a jab at any of your favorite franchises. I was kind of doing the opposite. I'm kind of talking about how they've been treated. Anyways, shout out goes to Not Nathan Drake from the Discord server for guessing this top 10 list correctly. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.